Hello, and welcome to another episode of New World Comics Podcast. I'm Buck Berlin, owner-operator of this fine establishment. This week, I have Deann Stone.
Hello.
Who has Disney in her blood.
It is
now.
in.
So we're talking Disney stuff this week, guys. I just came back from a trip with my lovely wife, and I have Tales to Tale. And then you worked at Disney.
I worked there in 2009 on the college program, and also we've just been to all sorts of Disney things, including Disneyland, Disney World, D23, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, so you have the inside track, I have the outside track, so let's get mobile. So, it's the worst. Yeah, I'm bad at this. Sorry, guys. God, where do we want to start? We want to start with just the recent stuff, or
let's start with your recent trip. And
so, we decided that before having the young ones, we wanted to get a last Disney trip in before actual responsibility came in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, all right, let's do this. And the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge just opened, and we wanted to go see all that. Because sometimes I'll see things and think, oh, we can incorporate some of this aspect to the convention or some fun things at the store and that kind of stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
And some of the things that were coming out of there, I was like, oh, that'd be a really cool thing to have around the store. Let's do it.
And as you can see, we have some lovely goodies from Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I brought some of the stuff. I forgot my Salacious Crumb, which I didn't realize that he was called a monkey lizard.
I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Well, because they were like, well, what are you going to do with your monkey lizard? And I said, that sounds personal. And they looked at me. They're like, that you just bought. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Made some cast member feel uncomfortable there unintentionally. But I didn't know what they were asking me.
They're your monkey lizard.
Yeah. I was like, this is weird.
Well, they also do have the role-playing thing going on in Batu, so.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, they're not employees of the park. They're not workers or minions. They are cast members.
They are cast members, and then the people who are working in the outpost on Batu, which is the planet you're on.
Yes.
They're the citizens of that planet and things like that. And instead of using money and credit cards, you have credits, so you get really into the Star Wars kind of RPing experience.
Yeah,
or as close as you can.
And apparently the Star Wars experience that they're going to be having later this year, early next year, the stay in the hotel thing. And
oh yeah, it's like a land cruise where you get on and it's the big. I'm looking forward to it. My cousin really wants to book a room.
It sounds like the craziest thing in the world, and I think it's 2 days that you're doing it.
Yep.
And it's your live action role play to the nth degree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how they're going to do some of this stuff, but.
Yeah, it's I saw they have a main bridge where you can go up and kind of drive the cruiser. You have the lightsaber training where you have the little orb shooting and you can go around. I kind of hope for a big fancy restaurant in there because that's what I've been waiting for is a big fancy Star Wars restaurant because the food in the Star Wars land is strange looking, but most of it's really good and some of it you like it or you hate it or it's.
I just want someone to try to float a CGI pear in my mouth. That'd be the end all be all. Get some Hayden Christensen up in there.
You never know.
I mean, yeah. I bet you he's an affordable get. They just, hey, come on, Anakin. Guess what you're part of now?
You're now on our cruise.
Yeah. But I thought it was kind of interesting that the whole idea for Galaxy's Edge is that land takes place during in between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
I think so, yeah.
And that's because at the end of The Last Jedi, the Resistance is down to so few, and then they go to Batu, and that's where they recruit all of the new Resistance. Yeah. And it's that's really cool that they were able to take that and put it all together and make it another piece of the canon,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily have to have it. Like it's the perfect, like, here's a little slice of cake.
And you can be recruited too. Like all the characters walking around are free range. So like most of the rest of the park, everybody has to get in line and things like that. While in, Star Wars Land, they're all roaming around. You can sneak around with Rey to avoid stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Chewbacca's working on things, and you can try to help him. And he sounds like my brother getting really angry with things not working.
So I caught Chewbacca as he was coming out, and I just kind of did the Wookiee noise at him. I could see the cast members' eyes light up, and the handler was like, "You do that better than anyone." Like, and like I had a little conversation with Chewbacca. I got to hug Chewbacca.
He's great.
Oh my god, it's great. Yeah, it's yeah, like you know that it's some kid in a suit. But like there's just something about it there that's it just kind of heightens it. It's I just hugged Chewbacca. How crazy is that?
It's like the stormtroopers have a lot of fun. It's like even during Star Wars weekends, like I worked one when back in 2009, and they would like check the garbage carts and things like that, and they're just having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, I was actually able to snag one of me doing the Vulcan. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and they just kind of looked and just walked on.
How dare!
Yeah. Oh, it was a great time. I got to build a droid. This is Barry.
Aw, yep. That's so cute.
Yep, I love him. It's I don't own pets, but I've got a droid now, and the wife got a lightsaber, which it looks like
I got a lightsaber.
Yeah,
too.
It looks like you've been through the experience too. You wanna talk about the?
It's actually disguised as like a scrap selling center because the First Order is all lurking around, and you can't really go flashing that you're a Jedi everywhere.
Right.
So once you get in, it's like you have certain like amount of people that you get in there with, and you can pick power, order, nature, and defense, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And once you get in, you get like a number, and you also get a very, very fancy pin. This is my nature pin.
We'll have close-ups of that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can pick like different segments of your lightsaber as you're working on it. Since I got the nature one, I got the rancor tooth on the end, and one of the ladies in there was started talking to me about the rancor tooth, and her character was a farmer and things like that. And you get to pick whatever crystals that call to you. Mine was originally a purple one.
Yeah.
But they sell yellow ones. So right now mine's currently yellow because that was my favorite color crystal and things from the book, books are not canon anymore. But that's okay.
I mean, some of them are, but
some of them are. Some of them
weirdly
are.
selective on But I was talking to some of the cast members in the Star Wars Land, and I made sure that there wasn't anyone else, around. I did that. All right. So, what's it like working here? Was it hard to get this, or were you all assigned? I said, they bring you into a group, and then you get your assignments, and then you go and check in and get your, get outfitted, get all that stuff.
I heard you can actually pick your outfits.
It's once you get assigned, then you kind of pick where you get to go. And she was like, well, I got assigned here, but there are some people that worked really, really hard to get this, so some people are big fans, and some people are told that I don't really know much of the lore.
I'm sure they have like a lore class thing because we had classes.
Yeah. She said that she had certain things that she was told, and then she said that there are some guests to Batuu that know the lore much better than she does. So that's a good way of putting it. She said, "Yeah, I thought so too."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then during the Rise of Resistance ride, there were. Some of the First Order officers were playing their part like to the T. Like that when we rode it the first time. Oh man, there was a guy that like made me feel that I was about to go to the principal's office. And then the second time, like, no one talked to me because, like, I was like, oh, I'm ready for him now. I've got some Star Wars jokes ready. Like, let's do this. Because
And they saw trouble coming, and they're like, nope.
Yeah, well, and like the second time I went, I bought a shirt because like Kira and I just watched the Star Wars Rebels show for the first time. Which, my God, it's everything that I love about Star Wars condensed into just that series. Like you could watch that series and not need any of the other Star Wars stuff just because it's so perfectly.
I heard it's really good.
Oh my God, I feel like such a fool for not supporting it and watching it and doing everything that I could have, but oh my God. But anyway, there's one of the several times throughout the series there's Fulcrum, which is someone working from the inside on the other side. So I wore that. I was like, I'm ready. Let's get interrogated. And that time no one talked to me.
Aw.
Yeah.
They saw, like I said, they saw trouble coming in.
Yeah.
First ordered out of there.
They knew better. But yeah, there wasn't as much stuff to buy as I thought there would be.
They're like hidden in like the marketplace here and there because there's like the pets and then there's the kind of the Rebel store and there's the First Order store. So it's all kind of spread out like you're in a world going through the market.
Right.
I heard a lot of people are kind of having a problem finding merchandise because it's styled that way. But...
Well, and like the Star Tours gift shop kind of has more Star Wars stuff than Batuu.
It's like Batuu has mostly like the land and things like that, so you don't see big Star Wars land over there. So if you get that at Star Tours, but Batuu, it's like, I guess it's like the more deep RPing experience.
Yeah, which I mean I do appreciate, but still, like I was expecting to see more variation on the theme.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's still brand new, so.
Oh, right, and I'm not faulting them for that at all.
Yeah.
But and I know that we're gonna keep going back to the Star Wars land throughout, but I want to hear about your experience as a cast member at Disney.
Boy, okay, It was a pretty great experience. You get to learn how to deal with all sorts of different people.
Yeah.
They're like the nice, joyful people. Like I talked to a guy who welded like on the NASA like Apollo stuff. I ended up meeting like some different stars around, while I was lurking or seeing him build new rides. But then there's some people like the lady who came up and was like, "You took out Tower of Terror," and I'm like, "Me?" No, I assure you, it's still there, and it's like huge. It's in Hollywood, and it's there hanging over. And she unfolds the trifold map, but unfolds two parts. So I kind of reach over and I like unfold the third, and I'm like, there, it's like right there. And she's like, "Oh, it says the Hollywood Tower. I thought that was a hotel." Like after she was so adamant that I took out the Tower of Terror.
So. Your first day, you go in, and do they do a tour? Do they give you a class first? Like what's the process?
There's like a class that you go back there, and then they have some like the senior cast members who will talk to you. You get to learn like the different rules. Like there's only one Mickey, so you don't break the magic.
There's only one.
There's only one Mickey. Yeah, there's only one.
Okay.
And how to deal with people who are in what they call tourist mode. And tourist mode is when the person is just out of it and it's not real concrete. It won't hurt if I fall on it. It's Disney magic, or, you're controlling the weather. So, and like how to deal with that. It's like it was in a little building over by the Magic Kingdom. So like for lunch, we got to go in the tunnels and eat and see all the fun things. Except Hollywood Studios is where I was put, Hollywood and the Wide World of Sports. So Hollywood didn't have any tunnels. You just kind of go back and there's like little trailers and things.
Interesting.
That you get to hang out in. Custodians, you have to wear usually all white when you're working because, it's a clean look.
Yeah.
But it's horrible when, a little child runs at you with an It's a Kuduzzi Pop, those rainbow ones, and goes...
Yeah, and then
got a rainbow
you're marked.
Yeah. But usually you just go back into costuming and get changed because, like like costuming's huge. You have like all your different sizes and things back there. It doesn't have the actual characters costumes, but it has like everybody from used to be the Great Movie Ride, outfits to custodians to the flowery stuff of people working different little bistros.
So did you like take any kind of assessment test, or were they like, we need people over here? You're that.
I signed up twice. The first time I was late and I didn't get in, but they do send you a very nice letter if you don't get in. The second time, I was talking on the phone, to the Disney recruiter, and they said sign up for everything if you really want in. So I signed up to be a custodian. And because, I was like, whatever, it's like you get to wander around and there's like no reason for you not to be somewhere. But I didn't sign up for like the fast food cooking because I heard like horror stories about grease popping and things, and I can't stand grease popping.
Yeah.
So I get a big congratulation letter that's like that thick about I get to be a custodian. So yay!
The fanciest of custodians.
The fanciest of custodians. So it's like people, when you're a custodian, it's like people don't notice you very much unless they really want to complain.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's like you're kind of invisible, and it's like it gets a little bit lonely. So it's like my advice is like talk to cast members and talk to CPs because they like interaction. And usually it's like if somebody was nice to me, I'd try to give them something. Like when Fast Pass was actually a paper ticket, I'd give them that. I had some special pins, that you could get from the cast members. And
from what I understand, if I as a guest interacted with you, the custodian, and I left a good review for you, you get something special. Like you get either like a pin or a meal ticket or a party, depending on the.
It depends on how many of those you get. If you gave me one, I'd get a congratulations back when I was signing in. If you get a lot, you might actually get like the little pin thing on your badge. But those are like for full times. I'm pretty sure it wasn't for CPs.
Fair enough. Well, I heard just all these
different the rumors. So. Yeah, it's like when people did get complimented, it was usually like, "Good job, you've been doing it okay. Back to work."
So I also hear that they don't pay incredibly well, but what they do make up for in that they have the like meet a celebrity or here's a party or here's a get to ride this more time. What's the process?
Well, you don't officially get to meet celebrities. It's like usually it's like when they're around the park, you just bump into them when you're working. You can do like these special like usually pass holder things you can get back in there. Like I ended up being a pass holder and working there, and I got into a Muppets event where I got to meet the actor of Gonzo and got to see the puppet and things like that.
Oh wow!
It was very delightful. I got to climb to the very top of Tower of Terror and walk through when it was closed. So the roofs were like really kind of squishy.
Really?
Yeah, but it has a lot of lightning rods on it since there's lightning rods all over Disney World.
Yeah, I heard that there's hidden lightning rods and hidden cameras and hidden exit or entrances places.
For cast members, yes, but it depends on the park.
Yeah.
Like Hollywood, you would have to get like there's a back exit that was for like the animators and stuff when the animation studio is open, and then the front, so there's not really on the sides. So I had the Muppet Gate, and I was trained for when like a hurricane was coming on or there's some big problem, I'd open the gate and I'd lead everybody out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Epcot actually has 2 official entrances, one that kind of heads back into like the hotel areas back there, and then the front one. But there are many areas that you can pop in and out of.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the like
cameras. There are a lot of cameras.
Yeah,
like everywhere. So when somebody's doing something kind of janky, it's like usually hear that it's like custodians also had earpieces, so we could also talk to each other. And one day there was, at an extra magic hour, there was this guy who was really drunk and he was army crawling through the bushes. Yeah, and we had to get him out because if he came out on the other side, there were kind of steps down into the ABC commissary lane, so he would have just ate pavement. So we helped him out, and he's like, "Oh, thanks. I was looking for a bathroom," and it was like right behind him. And we're like, "There's one right there," and he goes, "Oh, okay," and he staggers off and he starts heading towards the animation area where they're having a kids outdoor party, so there's a lot of little kids. So I was like, there's a man who's a little bit tipsy, I mean a lot tipsy, like staggering his way over there. And as he walked through the arch, all of a sudden I see a cop go whoop, and he was gone.
Interesting.
The magical backstage yank.
Yeah, what other kind of I don't know, insider stories do you know?
Insider stories. There are a lot of like plainclothes cops and kind of hidden cops around.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now, do you know who they are in case there's an emergency, or do they try to keep that anonymity?
They like, as a custodian, I never knew, but there was one guy that I was pretty sure he was one of them. Also, it's like you have a lot of CPs that are maybe like not working that day and just walking around. So like Disney has a lot of eyes and stuff everywhere. But once you're out of the park, they can't really track you.
Okay.
So we've had some bad guys escape.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But like they were on the run. Though some people, when I was there was that lady who claimed her child was kidnapped, and she went on a trip to Disney with some little person.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
What was her name? I don't know. It's like, but when we eat backstage, we have TVs with the news on, so you watch them and things like that. And she went right into Magic Kingdom, and of course everybody recognized her, and they went like, "Hey, we've got something special for you backstage." And she went backstage. There were cops.
Oh,
that's the special thing. I mean, not everybody who would go to like come backstage, but yeah.
So at Disney, not everything is special or magical.
Yeah, I mean, magical in its own way. To everybody else, it looks like you're just gone.
Yeah. Wow. So the tunnels underneath Magic Kingdom, like how massive, how intricate are they? Like,
I didn't get to go very far back in there, but it's like they have different signs like Tomorrowland and to Adventureland, and there's pipes running all through the ceiling. One of the things like people think is that there's chutes from the trash can that like go down and like magically whisk things away like Willy Wonka style.
From what I understand, that's how it is at Land, but not World.
It's not in California Adventure. I ended up checking their trash can when my mom was sick.
Well,
they didn't have bag liners, so that was weird.
Huh. Weird, because I mean that's the one thing they're like, Walt never wanted to see anyone changing out trash cans.
I mean, it might be in their Magic Kingdom. I guess next time I go, I could pop it open.
Yeah, but I mean,
children like to get in there.
Yeah, and it's one of those like I don't see how that's feasible in this day and age.
No, it's like we do have like a bio energy plant and things, and at Magic Kingdom you had to sort the trash when you brought it out back. But usually for people not to see the trash, you have these things called banana boats, or at least we call them, and then flip it open and put them in there and take them to the trash compactors.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say their trash service this go around at Disney was like almost nonstop. Like they were just
on top of it. It's like usually they probably had a competition because sometimes there's like custodian competitions to who has the cleanest park. And usually Magic Kingdom drops out early, but sometimes they try their best. So
yeah, I will say it's kind of interesting the different feels of each park, not just in theme, but just atmosphere amongst the cast.
Yeah, it's like somewhere more casual and stuff like Animal Kingdom, more laid back. It's bigger, though you don't have like as much air conditioning as like some of the other ones. Like Hollywood is the smallest park, though it's now like I guess a little bit bigger with Star Wars. So it took out like Lights, Motors, Actions in most of Streets of America. They kept Muppets though. They were like cut out Muppets,
which
I love. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very upset that Muppets was getting cut into. I was like, oh, but that's when I found out that there was any kind of Muppet Land,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I can't wait.
It was the last thing Jim Henson worked on.
Yeah, and oh my god, it was but it's diminished so much so since the last time I went there. Like half of the gift shop is now an art gallery.
Yeah, though they did turn Pizza Planet into the Pizza Rizzo's,
which is awful. I'll say.
Did you eat there?
Yep. So
Pizza Planet's never been good, but the kitchen is actually attached to Mama Melrose. Mama Melrose has really good food, but people can't find it because it's hidden behind Muppets.
Right. We did Mama Melrose last time, and I was like, but I wanted to go see what Muppet stuff was in Rizzo's. There's a picture with like Benson and Piggy.
Upstairs, there's a rat wedding.
What?
Yeah, if you go upstairs, they have like this whole setup for a banquet and stuff, and it has, the names of the rats, and then it plays music and it has a disco ball. You missed it. My mom thought it was a real one, and she's like, we shouldn't be back here. And I'm like, but wait, look at the names. And then, clearly Muppet
oh,
rat.
I'm crushed.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. I'm going to tell my wife, and because the whole reason that, she was like, all right, since this will probably be the last time we go in 10 years, what do we want to do? I was like, Rizzo's Pizza. I want to see as much Muppet stuff as I can. Because like in the Muppet gift shop, there's all the cute little signs and everything around. My God, there was...
Did you see them at Liberty Square? They have a little show.
They don't anymore. They took that out.
My friend who just went saw it.
Yeah, it was not going when we went. Because last time Hall of Presidents was down, so I waited around, and where they were having the Muppet Show was not going. They've taken them out.
Huh. Yeah. My friend who went this last week, she's like, "Oh, there's Kermit and he's singing." And I was like,
I was told that they were not there. That they were taken out the week that we went. Because I asked
somebody.
Oh, there's a cast member I need to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Hugh, unless they put him somewhere else, because there's also pictures of Muppets appearing in the I think the Liberty Tree Tavern restaurant that's in Adventureland that I've seen pictures of.
That's upsetting.
There's somebody an Imagineer or somebody who really does like the Muppets and fight for it.
Yeah. Well, and at Epcot one year, Benson and Beaker were on the
yeah, and they could talk to you. They would interact. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing ever. But yeah, I was crushed because they were like, yeah, we took all the Muppets out of Liberty Square. I was like, oh, but
my friend who just went, she's like, yeah, I saw Kermit and he was singing, and it's the best thing.
Oh, that's upsetting. And it was looking like the Muppets 3D wouldn't be done with its refurbishment, during our trip. And luckily that Sunday, last day,
good.
It was the first day back up, and I was like, great.
One of the funniest things I learned while working there is the Muppets area, with the splash paints.
Yeah.
It will be constantly repainted and constantly changing.
Oh, that's great.
It's pretty amazing. And I learned Mama Melrose was supposed to be a Rizzo sit-down restaurant.
Really?
Why the beams are so low is the rats' animatronics would come out and deliver. So...
God, that would have been so cool.
That would have. So Pizza Rizzo's is kind of a little homage to it, but,
Yeah, well, because you walk in and it looks like a bathroom. It's white tile with
it looks
black
better
stripe
than Pizza Planet.
Pizza
Planet looked kind of I don't know. It's getting really, really worn out.
Interesting.
So it's like a nice bathroom. I mean, it matches the bathroom. I work that bathroom a lot. Muppet's bathroom.
I will say, when I went to the Toy Story Land, I was surprised that there was no Pizza Planet there.
Yeah.
I was like,
you think they would have added it there since they took it out of...
Yeah. I will say that everything in the Disney parks is so super thought out and so well planned, except for the urinals in the men's restroom at Toy Story Land.
I have not seen.
So. For those that don't know, a lot of guys just unzip and walk up to a urinal and just go. they made the urinals too low because they're like, oh, a little boy, like they didn't install, I guess, the men's urinal, so there's just pee on top of all of the urinals. I was like, oh, that is big oversight, Disney.
Well, even when they are installed right, since I worked at Wide World of Sports, like when it closed down, like we'd take power washers to everything, and ladies could go in the men's and stuff, and the guys would just like to shoot the wall.
Yep.
And things like that, and it's like, but ladies' bathrooms can be really, really gross too. So,
yeah.
Except, my friend was the one who actually found a baby left in the men's bathroom.
Oh no.
Yep, left on the changing table, and Dad was just gone. It was like,
Oh, how long from finding it to reunification?
I know he ended up calling his manager and stuff, and they all went over to work. And I think that's when the dad ended up realizing the baby was gone, and Mom didn't have the baby, and had to come get it. So people lose a lot of things, from cell phones to babies.
To babies.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. Drew was telling me that he lost his shoulder-mounted Groot.
That was such a sad story because he just went whoop on the first turn and he stuck to the metal.
What ride?
It was the Goofy Sky School at Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
Well, he was told to take off his hat because it might fly off, but Groot seemed like okay. And I was like, Drew, maybe you should take off Groot just in case. And he's like, it's not going to. And we whip around a corner and Groot goes like, pew.
Yep.
So I was like, Goofy took Groot.
I'd read that comic. I'd watch that cartoon.
He's just Goofy, just and just storms Groot.
Oh man. Yeah, so when going through the park, the things that I've found fascinating are how manufactured everything is. And I know a lot of people are against that, but you're paying all this money to go in and have the best time that you can, and they're manufacturing the fun that you can have, and manufactured fun is still fun.
It is fun, yeah.
And it's not like you're going out and hiking an actual trail or doing it. You are going to
Batu or Pandora.
Yeah, you're going to these things that have been imagined and then recreated. So no matter what, you're going to have a manufactured fun time. So they're heightening that to the nth degree. The piping in the extra smells,
The smells are really fun because Disney is the only company to fully utilize it. I mean, haunted houses are like getting into it, but like movie theaters that had the scents piped in, they would fail. But Disney ends up, a lot of the smells are actually natural, like not in the rides.
Yeah.
Like the Main Street bakery is pumped out into there, so you get that nice scent.
Yeah.
Because smells end up triggering more memories than sights.
That's right. And there's just so many things that they've the extra noise. I know that they have extra crowd noise, and if they feel like it's too dead, then they'll liven it up.
Or if it's a town and you want the town noise, or
or if it's too loud, they'll tone everything down and they'll try to and then the thing that I find the most genius thing is selling those bubble wands to the kids.
Those shoot out so many bubbles.
Right, and that's the thing. You forget how fun it is to just kind of walk through all the little tiny bubbles.
And you're like,
and it just heightens the magic. And it's a thing that Disney is not just like, oh, hey, everyone avoid the bubble thing, because you can't help but walk through the bubbles.
Yeah.
Because they're little kids. So they've sold the bubble wands, and the kids are just blowing up
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're making money off of all this fun that we're having from the
Yeah.
That is
and
genius.
you can put more bubbles and stuff in it too, so it's not like one use bubbles only.
Yeah. And it's just that is such a cool idea that they thought of, for heightening the experience, and that at certain points you'll get extra sounds piped at you, like during one of the turns in the Hollywood studios, you'll hear the screams from the Haunted Mansion, but they're not
Or the
actual,
Tower Terror.
or the, Tower Terror.
They have one can scream that'll happen, but then like you can usually tell like what the can scream is, and then you can hear everybody else on.
Yeah, hear the actual. Yeah.
The inside of that is pretty dang impressive, and also everyone loses it in the fifth dimension.
Oh?
The fifth dimension is when it starts rolling out of the first shaft to the next one, and it has a mirror on the floor. So if you're evacuating, usually ladies with skirts, get notified of it. But there's like spit everywhere because everyone's going crazy. I've only seen it happen once where a parent's convinced the little girl to get on when she really didn't want to, and I could hear her ripping out her seatbelt during the fifth dimension, and she's just screaming and going crazy. And I'm like, if this girl gets out, I'm going to be grabbing onto her hair, because if she goes straight, there's these big scary mirror doors that have a lot of pressure on them to open and close. If she runs through them, there's the shaft. But probably had that floor there because like the wheels on the Tower Terror like that big. So it's like a big square going wiki wiki wiki. Or if she hits the middle, there's stairs, but if she doesn't go in the stairs, that shaft's shut down. The other shaft's not shut down. So, she could run out in front of something in the other shaft. But I was like, I'm ready to grab this little girl's hair, and she's not going to have a fun time, but she's going to be staying on the tower. She didn't get out because, Disney seatbelts are pretty... Yeah. As long as you don't have a seatbelt cutter, like that guy on Test Track.
Yeah. So with Tower of Terror, the different shafts for the thing, do they give you a different ride each time, or?
Yes, they actually do, because one engine is newer than another, because they blew it up, and the only way to replace it was to tear the side of Tower Terror off and take the engine out and put it back in. The newer one has shorter drops and you can go faster, and the other one has longer, smoother drops.
Okay, I wondered because we had what seemed like a shorter ride, a shorter experience on one, and then the other one seemed like it was...
You also have the randomized ride experiences too, so there's like different things like Ghosts in the Shafts or being blasted with air or seeing lightning. Or my favorite is going all the way to the bottom and seeing like rods, or seeing the window break, and then it shoots you all the way back up.
Interesting. I never saw that.
It's fun, and it's in there.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess the I've only been 3 rides of it. 4. Yeah. So never got a Rod Serling. Huh.
That one's in there.
Interesting.
At the bottom.
Man, I feel left out.
One day.
Yeah, I didn't get my my Muppets in Liberty Square, and I didn't get an extra Rod Serling.
When I go back there, I'll check if the Muppets are there.
Yeah, I mean they may have been down, but I was told by a cast member that they were removed from Liberty Square. Yeah, because we went 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were moving them somewhere else, and the cast member just didn't know where. Or... Because sometimes it happens. But then if you don't know anything and people demand an answer, you're like, well, it's over there. Well, or the 2-finger Disney point.
Never was I demanding of anything. I don't want to go anywhere and act like that. Particularly to the help, because,
there's a lot of people who act like that.
Right, and that's no way to go through it. Mm-hmm. You
It's like they're just people too, and you got really strict rules on how to act and be happy. And yeah.
So anytime that we came across anyone who was particularly helpful or whatever, we made note of their name, and we went back and emailed Disney. Hey, these were the people who made our experience better. If you can do anything for them, and we'd really appreciate it. We'll be back because of these.
It really does help if you go up and you email them or go up to the city hall and be like, hey, these people were great.
Yeah.
Sometimes, very rarely, people will be wearing different name tags. I left my name tag at home a couple times, so I became like Sharon from Florida.
Ah. Well, Sharon.
Sharon from Florida. One of my friends, this big guy, was Hope from Haiti. Yeah, it was a very unfortunate pick for him. Yeah.
Now, was it randomized? Like, do you just kind of reach in?
Yeah, you reach in, or it depends on like how many of the loners are taken. So, and I guess that was maybe the closest to a boy's name he could get that day.
I mean.
But, most people actually, have their name.
Yeah.
And it's like, even, they'll answer even if you can't pronounce it. Like, I've had somebody look and go, Deann, and I'm like, yes!
Yeah.
How can I help you?
Why, yes, I am.
Deann. Because there's extra N's, and I guess it's like a little motor.
So, what are some things that you wouldn't normally think to do when going to Disney, or some things that you maybe should stay away from?
Let me think. A lot of people, I don't know, they go full on tourist mode, and like they're not quite thinking about maybe I shouldn't do this. Like I ended up having to wave people off the big rusty tank at Indiana Jones because they jumped the fence and they were taking pictures. They were the nicest couple, but I'm like, no, and they're like, are there snakes? And I'm like, yeah, there's snakes. And I'm thinking if they fall through that husk, it's filled with tetanus and things like that. So it's like, I'll take a picture. And they're like, oh, you're so helpful. And it's like, don't be shy to ask, cast members and things to take pictures and, just generally help you out. One of my things was don't pee while standing up if you're a lady. Because you clean the toilet seats like every 20 minutes or whatever. And there's these ladies who just like to stand up, and it's like, stop.
I mean, I can't blame them. It's my preferred way, but call me old fashioned.
Our toilets are not made for that.
Yeah, I know. We're getting into
yeah.
Now just filthy talk.
Yeah, that's my please don't. It's like if something is wrong, like if you have the wrong order on your menu and things, it's like just talk to somebody and they'll help fix it if you've got like some sort of problem, because I know some people really don't like to do confrontation or anything like that, but it's like these people are here to help you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Be mindful about picking up and dropping things off, because people just leave junk everywhere and kind of have to clean up about it. Let's see, what else? I don't know. It's like,
fair enough.
Yeah.
How's this? What are some of the most underrated rides?
Ooh, underrated rides. It's like Muppet Vision.
Oh man, Muppet Vision isn't really a ride, but I mean, if you love any kind of Muppets, you're getting a free Muppet show, and like Sweetums is there.
And in person.
Yeah, in person. And then the animatronic Statler and Waldorf.
And Bunny.
Yeah.
The pre-show is excellent. So if you get there early, the pre-show is just as good as the main show, or maybe even better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't want to ruin any part of it, but...
Yeah, but go see Muppet Vision.
Yeah.
Let me think. I really do like Carousel Progress, actually. I know some people like to nap in it.
That's the...
you get to see the family through the years stuff in the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I wasn't allowed to do that because I made Kira go on the ride in the Epcot sphere.
Oh, Spaceship Earth?
Spaceship Earth. She thought it was the most boring, lamest thing.
It's getting changed.
I have this weird love of the old Disney animatronic things.
I love Spaceship Earth.
They're kind of awful. Like, I'll agree with her. It's awful. But I love it. There's a lot of charm to it. And
I think there's a lot of charm to it. It's like It's a Small World. There's some people who can't stand It's a Small World. I do love It's a Small World.
We got caught on It's a Small World this time. Like,
I have never been stuck on It's a Small World.
Really? Well, because when Kira said, "Hey, what's the what's on your checklist?" Like, I want to see what It's a Small World is all about. I know it sounds terrible, but
I love Mary Blair's art style and things like that. The colors.
I was shocked that it still had drop tile ceiling. I thought that they would have undone all that. But
getting a refurbishment soon, I think. So.
Okay. Yeah, it was just kind of this like, wow, I didn't. I would have expected a lower ceiling or more.
Yeah, the dome
enclosing. Yeah. So that was kind of surprising, and then it's.
I wouldn't say it's underrated. It's just I do like It's a Small World. It's people love it or people hate it. So
it was on par with what I was expecting for the most part. it's kind of weird that you're in a water ride that has no use of the water. Like
Well, you're just floating along, so.
right. But I mean,
It was made for the World's Fair,
right.
like the Disneyland one. So I guess they, wanted
Yeah,
to
they were just yeah. Um, I was told that oh my god, the spaceship one. Then tomorrow,
Spaceship Earth, or wait,
no, the
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. I was told that Space Mountain was a lame has-been ride. Oh my god, it was terrifying, and I loved it.
It's terrifying. It bumps you around a lot. I wish it was like the Disneyland one because it's smooth like Rock and Roller Coaster, but with no loops.
Really?
And like when I went to Disneyland, it was the Star Wars makeover. So when you're launching, you get to see the X-wings taking off with you and things like that.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's like I hope like that Space Mountain will come to Disney World at some point because I'd like a very smooth but still terrifying.
I'm a big fellow, and there was a moment that I was like, I'm not sure I'm in the seat all the way. Let's hold on for dear life. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't stand up on that ride. There's very low hangings. I've been stopped in there, and all the lights on. There's a big elevator in the middle.
Really?
Though in the dark, it makes it look like you go faster than what you actually do.
I'd imagine, yeah. I'm guessing your top speed probably 40 miles an hour.
I don't think even that.
Not even that?
I think it's like 20.
Okay, but it felt terrifying, and I was being whipped around, and it was great.
Mm-hmm. Rock and Roller Coaster is...
That is easily the best roller coaster I've been on.
Mm-hmm. And it's like feels like a good wicked starting roller coaster because it's not going to beat you up like Universal's.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Underrated. The People Mover. I love the People Mover because it's like it's slow moving, but you can see all of Tomorrowland. You can go inside Space Mountain and take a peek at it if like people aren't sure. You can see inside a Buzz Lightyear, the Astro Blasters. So I like the People Mover. I have a People Mover shirt actually at home.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, okay. So, best restaurant at Disney.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna say like the best fancy restaurant.
Yes.
Will have to be like the Hibachi in Japan or Nine Dragons in China. Or I see my uncle making faces at me. Let's see. Oh, Juana's is really good.
The Yak and Yeti is probably the best steak I've had.
Yak and Yeti is like a really good Landry's company. So if you ever get to like have to pick between like Rainforest Dinosaur and Yak and Yeti, do Yak and Yeti, then do Dinosaur, and then do Rainforest Cafe. Rainforest Cafe has been kind of spotty.
I've heard a lot of bad things recently about that.
Yeah.
The last Disney trip we went on for one of our super fancy meals, we had at this progressive like club / steakhouse. It was like STK. I want to say it was Disney Springs.
Disney Springs has a lot of.
It was the worst damn thing I've been to. It was the worst designed knife I've ever seen.
Wow, I don't know. I don't even know if it's there anymore.
I think it closed. Thank God. But
okay.
It was 30 minutes between any time we saw our waiter for anything.
Ew.
Yeah, so like, and things came out wrong. So it was like 30 minutes between that and 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got to pick, do the parks or do the hotels. Hotels got some good ones. Like Ohana's at the Polynesian, all you can eat. It has steak, like that comes off the grill, and they'll have it on things, and chicken, and like their noodles and stuff are great. Also, you can hang out at Trader Sam's Grog Rod, which you have these beautiful like tiki drinks, and usually they're to share. They have some snacks there that, are not in the park, like the alcoholic Dole Whip and things like that.
Nice.
Speaking of Dole Whips, the orange is my favorite, but normal Dole Whip's pretty good.
Yeah, I got to do the Dole Whip this time, and I understand. Well, because before I was like, is there a place that says Dole Whip? I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
It's like a little sign that says Dole Whip.
I mean, I saw it this time, but before I was like, what the hell is everyone talking about a Dole Whip? Yeah. I get it now.
They're good. It's like I've seen like state fairs and things trying to like display they got Disney Dole Whips. They get close, but they're not quite the Disney one. Like the caramel apples at Disney are also really good. I never had one until the Goofy Candy Company was selling or giving out free samples of the little slices.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing was good. The apple was like crisp and cold and juicy, and like the chocolate on there was really good too. So it got me into the caramel apples. So I'll get me a big one by myself.
That's awesome.
I'll try to share, and then I eat the whole thing.
My experiences with the quick service meals.
Quicksilver?
Yeah, quick service meals has not been great. Like most of those that we went to were okay at best.
Like which ones? Because there are some that are really good, and
went to
some
Pecos Bill.
Pecos Bill is not my favorite one.
Yeah, it's worse than any kind of Taco Bell mayo.
I eat at the Harbor House, which is in Liberty Square. It has like seafood and things in there. I really like the tuna sandwich. Casey's has the really fancy hot dogs. Like you might have mac and cheese on there with like bacon and things like that, which is at Main Street. And
so you're saying that we should have done Casey's?
I should make you a list and be like, don't do Casey's.
Yeah.
Go do Casey's. Don't do Pecos Bill.
The quick service meal in Japan in Epcot was the worst teriyaki chicken I've ever had.
Never had it. You should have gone to China and had their orange chicken, because China has good quick service. Norway has good quick service.
Everything around Japan turns out was amazing, but Japan's like quick service meal was terrible.
Yeah, they need to really rework it. It's like I went in there once and went like.
Yeah, I've heard amazing things from the hibachi, but the quick service, it's just. Blah.
It's like they're 2 restaurants up there, which is now 3 restaurants.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
So let's cap this off with talking a little bit more Star Wars land, which the wife gets bothered that I call everything land. It's
Well, you had Adventureland, Frontierland.
Yeah. So in Epcot, I was like, let's go to Canada Land, or let's go to Mexico Land, let's go to France Land.
I mean, I think a lot of moms do that too. It's like I've noticed.
You're calling me a mother.
You're like a mom. Do you call Test Track Fast Track?
I don't, just because I had absolutely no interest in going to Test Track.
Okay, my mom and like a bunch of other moms I heard are like Fast Track.
I know better. No,
I know what it's called. Calls the Tower of Terror Haunted Mansion.
Well,
same thing, just one drops.
They're all haunted. Well, yeah, one drops, one grows.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, it's I'm bad with the names of things, but so the Star Wars, the Rise of Resistance had just opened. And in order to get it, you have to be in the park, like right before 8. You have to have your Disney app on. You have to pray to the right deity and press the right.
Pray to the mouse.
Yeah, exactly. You have to join a boarding group, and then they have like 1 through 125 if nothing goes wrong throughout the course of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on when you're called, you have an hour to meet up with your boarding group and go on and do the experience.
That's interesting, because like the Millennium Falcon's basically a people eater.
Yeah.
It's so efficient.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Millennium Falcon, I mean, since everyone gets to the park so early to try to get the Rise of the Resistance, they end up just going on Millennium Falcon. So before lunch, it's like a 3-hour wait. And then after lunch, it's like 40 minutes. Just, if everyone just keeps walking, you'll be on within 40 minutes.
Yep. That was at Disneyland too. It was like about 45 just going through there. Now, like outside of Star Wars, the Banshee flight over in Animal Kingdom, that gets out crazy long.
Yeah.
Unless it's like shorter now, but it's like Star Wars is in different parks.
It's a little bit shorter, but no. Like we just did we're just not gonna.
It's actually a really, really fun ride.
I hear that it's not unlike Soarin'.
It's Soarin' on steroids, and with the ride system, you really feel like they could have gone like rougher, but they're like take pity on you.
Yeah.
Since you are actually like the floor drops down, you're pushed out into the screen, the smells in the sea, and you can feel like your banshee. It feels like it's like kind of breathing and you're sitting on it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And it has a very, very nice smell in there. And then it's like you can go adopt your little banshees, which have a very fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the buyable puppets from Disney are impressive. I forgot my Salacious Crumb, but
they're fun.
Yeah.
And you get the little adoptable box and things like that.
Yeah. Barry here came with his, and then Salacious Crumb had a different one. Mm-hmm. So
mine has when you actually do get the lightsabers.
Yeah.
Like they're $200. You get a really nice bag. You get your pin. You get to design your own lightsaber.
Yeah, and there's a whole presentation for the lightsaber to make sure that you've fully experienced the $200 worth of thing.
And Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda talks to you and is like, "Yo, you're a Jedi now."
I'm a Jedi. You are.
Yeah. Not to spoil things. But anyway.
Well, I mean, you're buying a lightsaber, but it's really cool how they put the kind of saber part in actually, because you don't see it until later.
Yeah, and from what I understand, you can remove the blade right on that.
Yeah, you can pull out the blade. You can redo the crystals. There is a black crystal that is actually kind of like 1 in 100. If you buy a red one, it'll turn your lightsaber black.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And like that Mandalorian.
Huh?
It'll turn red.
Oh, turns it red?
I thought it turns it black.
Red.
Fighting between sibling folks.
Does it? Well, I haven't met anybody who had one red one. And I saw the black one on the Mandalorian. I was like, wow, they planned this. And apparently not. See, he knows more about the actual lightsabers.
There are no Muppets in Liberty Square.
There are no Muppets. But my friend saw them.
Your friend's wrong. Your friend's a fool. So am I. No.
Believing the Muppets weren't there.
I asked. I was like, "Oh, it is," because last time I went, they were there, and I stayed for the whole show, and it was so charming and wonderful, and I love
the great moments in history.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's oh god, they're all decked out in colonial stuff. It's just wonderful. Love the Muppets.
Need more Muppet content.
We do. I mean, I got Statler and Waldorf behind the counter lampooning everyone. So, yeah.
As they should be.
Yeah. I mean, particularly around here. I mean, what fools. But, yeah. So, sorry, I meant to bring all that back to the Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
We went into the Muppets.
Yeah.
We brought it back to the Muppets.
I mean, there's some Muppet and
crossovers. Yeah.
Frank Oz is, yeah.
He's technically a Muppet.
He's very much a Muppet. But yeah, there are stations that you can get your pictures taken at, and they'll include like X-Wings and TIE Fighters and all sorts of extra stuff in there. There are extra features kind of hidden in throughout the thing, like, oh, this thing is it turns out is a water fountain. Oh, that's cool.
Or the animatronics that are just out and about, like the little droids in the charging station will actually kind of start beeping and talking to each other, and that's so cute.
Yeah, and if you drink long enough at the water fountain, the things from like the trash compactor in Star Wars will pop up and like look around and make noise.
Aw.
Oh, it's so cool. And there's so many little things just kind of built in that if you're there long enough, you'll experience. But if you're just there, like...
Yeah, if you breeze on through.
Yeah, if you breeze through trying to experience it all as quick as you can, you're going to miss it. But
which is, it's worth like getting a drink, sitting down, getting the tip-yip chicken, from the little restaurant, or a Ronto wrap.
The cantina. I don't think we've talked about the cantina.
We have not talked about the cantina.
So
I want to go in there, and I want a fuzzy tauntaun.
Fuzzy tauntaun is everything it's cracked up to be. The blue milk, the green milk.
You either love it or you hate it. I had the blue milk, and it tasted like kind of like the old bubblegum medicine, but without the medicine taste. And my brother had the green, which kind of tasted like a weird fruity thing, maybe like Fruity Pebbles.
See
and it's thick.
It's a not sweet Fruity Pebbles.
Yours wasn't sweet?
Mine was not sweet at all.
Maybe it's Disneyland and Disney World difference, because his tasted kind of like a mixed drink, a fruity mixed drink.
Weird. My blue milk was like a coconut almond milk.
Maybe there's a difference. I haven't tried the Disney World ones.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll have to come back and tell me about that. But the fuzzy tauntaun,
it has like orange and then
that foam makes your face numb when you drink it.
It's there's a certain flour they use to make the foam.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just incredible.
Makes you feel fuzzy.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you're drinking, and then part of the drunkenness feeling is that is my face numb? Oh, my face is numb, and yeah. Then I had a Dagobah Slug Slinger because I was like, let's try another thing. Kira got a Bespin Fizz, which was a cranberry vodka with a little bit of dry ice down at the bottom to help.
To make it a little smoke.
Yeah.
And they got DJ Rex in there.
They do. So one of the cast members was really into it, and then one of the cast members was very much over it because like
here's Paul Rubens.
Because they'll have some Star Wars kind of club sounding music, and then the Cantina song comes on, and then someone
was all over Star Wars weekends.
Yeah,
but I never got tired of it. Oddly,
so the guy that was working there, they're like, "Do you ever get tired of this thing?" He says, "No, never, not even in my sleep, or every waking moment." Or even the quiet moments. I never think of, It
was like me with High School Musical because they had a parade that comes out every hour, and then I had to sweep up after it. So, WILD, Wildcats.
That's amazing.
Some things haunt you, some things don't. Like, one of my friends got really annoyed around Muppets.
Really?
But I love the Muppet song so much, and like there was a song that was sang by the little frog, and it sounded so like heartfelt, and I was like, oh. I like this song.
That's awesome.
I don't know how you can hate Rainbow Connection, but he did.
I mean, he just has no soul.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's the puppet, not the Muppet.
Oh, that's ridiculous. All right. Well, I think that concludes our time that we have. Just because I try not to make these things go too crazy, because I know if I talk anymore, it's going to be this long tangent on here's another Star Wars something.
Yeah, here's a restaurant.
Yeah,
here's a good thing.
So we'll save that for another podcast. We'll definitely have another because you're about to go.
Yes, I'm going to go again.
Yeah, so you can confirm whether or not Muppets are there or not.
I will go and I will stare and I'll frown if they're not there.
Yeah, you go to Liberty Square and find those Muppets. All right, folks, thanks for listening. We should be back on a more regular schedule in the next couple weeks. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all then.
And have a magical day.